In terms of our emissions versus standard sportswear, the first major point is we're using recycled fibres, which use 40 to 50% less energy, 90% less water. So that's our starting point. But then through measuring and then offsetting those carbon emissions, plus planting a tree, like I said, we're carbon positive in all of our clothing, and that's a major difference. Clothing itself, sportswear particularly, is made out of a lot of synthetics. Those use crude oil as their starting point. And so they are quite carbon intensive. So every company in this space can really be looking at reducing their impacts through recycled fibres and ultimately through this kind of circularity journey. How can we take back clothing and recycle it into new clothing so we don't continually have to use new resources? So in terms of the challenging aspects to becoming net positive, well, initially it was around supply chain. When we started making our clothes back in 2014 originally, there was no one really working with recycled fibres. There were very few available on the market, and there were very few companies that knew how to work with those. Over time, we've upskilled our mills, we've upskilled our factories to the point where they can make the best quality, top quality sportswear. I think the other side of it is really the customer understanding, and to start with, sustainability wasn't a thing in clothing or in sportswear. So we've come to the point now where people are really asking for recycled fibres, really asking for sustainability in their clothing, but that's only something that's come about in the last couple of years, really. My hopes for a brighter net zero future, it's a bit cliched, but I've got two young girls, 2 and 5, and the world that I see them growing up in is pretty scary at times, and it's only through businesses like ours and the whole business community really committing to change in everything we do that the world's going to start turning a corner. My hopes are that within 10, 20 years' time, businesses like ours are doing genuine good in everything we do. So we're actively sequestering carbon, not just doing less harm, we're actively changing the game in terms of how we're making our clothing. And I think that is achievable. It's a big journey, but someone's got to start, and that's got to start now.